What up, people? This is Mr. You Know Who It Is. No need for the intro. We're gonna get right into this. Like I said in the previous video, I did have COVID last year. I repeat, I did have COVID last year. And it wasn't fun. It wasn't the cold. It wasn't a summer sweat or a spring fling or like spring break, like I got all this time off from work and I was just lamping in the house and I was just chilling. COVID is some real shit. It's some real depressing shit because you're almost close to death. And I know a lot of people out there are on this anti-vax shit. And I know I may lose a lot of support. Not that I have that many people watching me anyway. I know a lot of people are anti-vaxxers of the social medias and the friends I have online. I know a lot of y'all are against it. I know there's a lot of political push and propaganda and media coverage and conspiracy theories, and everybody's waiting for the 5G and aliens to come back, and it's all a part of some big plot that the government construed, and the secret families are coming back to inhabit everybody's bodies and be reptilian. I heard all of the stories. I heard that monsters were going to pop out of the sky and the ground, and we were going to be ripped into the fifth and sixth dimension if we take the vaccine. I'm vaxxed. Yes, that's right. G-Man on live, forever on it. G-Man keeps it real. G-Man on live. Yes, I am vaxxed. Now, and everybody, don't boo me all at once. Come on, guys. Come on. Don't boo me all at once. Come on, guys. Please. Come on. Settle down. I know. Yes, I got the Pfizer vaccine. Yes. But you gotta understand something. What I went through last December, I don't want anybody else to witness. I don't want anybody else to go through that. It felt like I had pneumonia because I did have pneumonia. It felt like a real bad stomach flu because it was. It was all that. All that in a bag of chips, okay? I live with a sibling, okay? Me and the sibling live together. I don't live on my own. I'm just be real, just be authentic with it. I'm not gonna sugarcoat this shit. And he had contracted or got this bug. He got this virus. A virus that's man-made to be autoimmune, to be deficient from any immune system. Like this is something we haven't put in our bodies before. This is an experiment. This is something that broke out of a lab, okay? In China, Wuhan, or whatever. Not Wu-Tang, Wuhan, This is something that we've never faced before. This is something our bodies weren't prepared for at all. Something that shouldn't have got out, but some scientist lady punctured her daggone suit or gloves. She was supposed to be fully protected. She went home, got the shit, and died. And it spread it from there. It went on planes and trains and automobiles, and eventually came to the US and conquered. So I don't take this shit lightly, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, as I was saying, my sibling came home with it after being out, doing his thing, and he was touching shit in the house. Let's just be real. And I was also touching shit in the house because we share this space. And he was telling me that weekend or that Friday that he wasn't feeling so good. He said, I hope I don't have it. I hope this isn't it, because I'm gonna go get tested and I'm gonna see what's what, because I'm feeling real bad. Stomach's messed up. I can't really smell. I can't really taste. I'm gonna just lock myself in a room and you continue your life. That's basically what it was. That Friday onto the weekend. I think this was like a week before the week of Christmas. And moving on from there, I started feeling symptoms that Sunday. I had to help some family members out with their stuff. And, they was, I was telling them I was sick. I was telling them I didn't feel too good. I couldn't breathe right. Ended up being inflammation in my lungs with the pneumonia. And that's why I couldn't really breathe with it. I get colds, summer colds. I get, these summer coughs and these summer drainages. I still deal with that. I've dealt with mucus and phlegm all my life, So it's no surprise that, I would contract something that was dealing with mucus that could kill you, that could fill up in your lungs and harden, and you couldn't breathe. It ain't no surprise, because I've been dealing with antihistamines and allergic reactions, the pollen, and I've been dealing with allergies all my life, so it was no surprise. It didn't feel like anything different, but I noticed I was a little bit tired. I was huffing and puffing a little bit going upstairs. That wasn't normal, because I'm an exercising motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? I get on the elliptical, I do my thing. I got, usually I take some vitamins here and there. I don't take a lot, but the thing was, I wasn't taking no vitamin D. Pause. But we need vitamin D. We need the sun, okay? Apparently I wasn't getting enough, being that I wasn't working outside. I was inside an office, enclosed with a whole bunch of other people. It is what it is. But anyways, I wasn't feeling that well that Sunday. Went into Monday feeling the same. I fought through it. Tuesday, I got the call. I just got into work 30 minutes after work. Well, not 30 minutes after work. 30 minutes after I clocked in, my sibling hit me up saying, okay, you might want to leave work. I got the shit. You might want to leave out, because this shit is contagious. You're going to spread it to everybody. I don't want you to get in trouble. That's what I did. I immediately told my supervisors I got to go home. I didn't tell them immediately what it was, but I told them I had to go. They said, hey man, you a grown ass man, do what you got to do. So I packed my shit up, went home. 30 minutes after I had done, went in there and set myself up for work. And this was in the evening, okay? So I went to go get tested, did the self swab or whatever. A lot of people saying that the tests are tampered with. They're trying to trick people into thinking they have it. That it isn't a trick, because I actually had this shit. Okay, I'm a believer. I'm a testimony that I had this shit, and I'm gonna tell you why. I get the news Wednesday that I officially have COVID. Okay, I knew I had it when these symptoms were arriving. Couldn't breathe right. I had this, my chest was feeling kind of heavy, kind of clogged up. I knew I had something. I knew something wasn't right. I was ultra tired for no reason. Energy was drained. But I fought through it. A lot of people try to fight through it, but you need that extra medical attention. Speaking of, I ended up going to the emergency room twice. Now, I spent a week at home. Seems like when I got that diagnosis Wednesday, that Thursday, all the symptoms just rushed in. I had immediate diarrhea. Couldn't stay off the toilet. Couldn't stay off the couch. Couldn't stand up. My body was wrecked with pain. Racked with pain. However you want to say it. I was just like, I was almost terminally ill. Like, I couldn't taste, couldn't smell. Food was fucking bad to me. Certain smells were bad to me. I was miserable. This was not a vacation. And what ended up happening is, that weekend, went to the emergency room. They checked me out. They gave me some Motrin or Tylenol. Because they're trying to get people in and out. They're not trying to hold people in there, because they didn't have beds already. they didn't have nowhere to put me in that motherfucker. So they just like, my brain function was fucked up. I was losing brain cells. I didn't notice at the time. I was losing my function. I was losing oxygen because I wasn't breathing right. So it got to a point. The following week, I just felt even worse. Tylenol didn't help. Motrin didn't help. I was just laying on the couch. Couldn't get no sleep. Tossing and turning. And mind you, I'm still going through these effects today. To this day. Months later, I'm still going through these effects. And, you know, I mean, I wasn't thinking straight. I was hallucinating because I wasn't getting enough rest. I wasn't eating. I lost at least 10 pounds, 10 or 11 pounds. You know what I'm saying? Even though it didn't really show, I lost the weight because I got a scale. You know, I went from a high weight to a lower weight, you know, which a lot of people say, well, that's good. You know, no, that's not really good if you're not eating normally. You're not breathing normally. You're not drinking normally. You know, if you're not ingesting nutrients and food you need to get through the day, you know, you're going to go through some hypnosis. You're going to go through, you know, you're going to freak out. Your brain's going to be just huffing and puffing for air. Like, that's what was going on with me. My lungs weren't functioning correctly. My brain wasn't getting oxygen. Blood wasn't flowing properly. So I was just out of it. So I had to end up going to the emergency room for a final time. This time they had to take me in because I really couldn't breathe. I was hunched over, going into the hospital. You know, thank God they didn't put me in no damn triage or nothing, like waiting for me to fucking pass out and die. They, you know, I mean, of course the doctors and nurses was, you know, tired. They don't get no rest. They dealing with COVID all damn day and night. So they took me to the back. They had to put me in a damn chilled, cool room. They ran all these needles in me, all these IVs, trying to keep me alive. By week 2. Now imagine if I just didn't go to the hospital by week 3. Where would I be? Probably wouldn't be here today. I guarantee I probably wouldn't be here today. Now, a lot of people may say, well, you know, your body got to be stronger, your immune system. Look, this is something we have never faced before. I don't care how strong you are. It's taking out young, feral, young adults and teenagers. It's taking out athletes. Okay? I know some people don't want to believe it because they haven't gotten it. I've gotten it, so I believe it. Okay? And I'm not one of these Biden riders. I'm not one of these Trump riders. I'm not one of these political party people. I'm just saying what I went through. I'm not trying to make a decision for you. I'm just telling you, I spent an extra week and some days in the hospital trying to get my oxygen back to normal level. It is not a game. This shit is not playing with you. Once it gets in your system, it's kicking ass and taking names last, okay? It's beating your ass to death, literally. And I thank God, I thank the Most High that I recuperated and that I got back on my feet, because they had to run all these IVs, run all these tubes in me. They was taking my blood pressure and all my damn vital signs back to back all day and all night, making sure I didn't croak out, making sure I didn't die in 30 minutes or in 15 minutes. And I know a lot of people saying, well, you just over fabricating it. Oh, you're just talking, you know, you're just scared, G man. Oh yeah, I was all that. I was hallucinating. I didn't have my proper brain function. Yeah, I was doing all that. Crying, screaming, praying. I was doing all that shit. You're right. Because I've never faced nothing like this before. It hit me like a ton of bricks. And most people are still in disbelief about the effects, even after I tell them. But I went through it. And the reason why I decided to vax, the reason why I took the jab, is because I'm not going back to the hospital. Now, I know there's new studies saying, well, you can still go back to the hospital and you can still get it even if you wear a mask, and even if you do the preventive things like wash your hands and do the sanitizer, you can still get it. True. That's very true. But I'm not gonna die. I'm not gonna die. Now, some people may say, well, you know, we haven't tested everything yet. It could be years before you see the real effect. I've already got the shit. I've already had the effects. What worse could happen? What's the worst that could happen after the vax? I already had the damn shit. I already had the shit. I've already had the COVID. You haven't had the COVID. Until you get the COVID, you can't tell me about no damn effects. I've already been through it. I've been hospitalized. I've had IVs and all these tubes run through me. You don't know. You haven't been in that, man. You haven't been in that situation where you're about to die from something you can't see and something you never saw coming. You haven't been in that situation before. Maybe some of you have been shot before. Maybe some of you have been close to death. Car accidents, plane crash, about to drown. But this right here, this is something that your body just can't fight off. Not alone. I had so many steroids ran into me. The shit they put Trump on. Trying to save my little po black ass. And I thank these doctors, man. I thank the facility that had me. I thank the whole hospital system, the doctors and nurses that had me in there and actually cared about me. Because as I'm hearing from BGS Ibmore's channel, these doctors are starting to give up, especially on anti-vaxxers, which I'm kind of afraid of, because I'm like, damn, what's next? If they're gonna give up on anti-vaxxers, people who have decided not to do the vaccine, and they just gonna let them die in the hospital, what's next? I don't want to go back to the hospital. Like, they about to get real gangster. They about to just have you check in, whatever happens to you happens if you don't get the vaccine. I mean, yeah, that sounds fucked up, but that's the time we living in, man. These doctors and nurses ain't seen their homes. They ain't seen their families. They just in the hospital. Now, you may have some instances where, you know, somebody may get up here and be like, well, I'm a doctor and nurse, and we're not doing that bad. Okay, cool. That's good. That's great. Y'all area's not doing that bad. That's great. But I can't speak for no other area but my own. And our numbers are rising. And I don't want the shit no more. Now, I may get it, but at least this time my body can fight that shit off. Now, of course, we got the new variants. They saying, oh, well, the vaccine don't affect, you know, it ain't got no effect on that new variant or the other variants. Yeah, that's true. That's very true, but I still have a higher percentage and a higher chance of walking out of some type of facility where they do medical work on me alive. I can walk off of that table. I can get out of that bed alive. But, you know, that's just my story. I can't tell anybody how to live. And I'm not trying to. I'm not begging and crying for y'all to get it. I'm not begging and crying for y'all to protect yourselves. That's not the point of this video. I'm not a campaigner for the vaccine. I'm not a campaigner for COVID prevention. That's your life. You do what you want to do. But I know I suffered. And I'm not going through that bullshit again. But that's Mr. You Know Who It Is. Let me know what y'all think about this video. And I'm out of here. Peace.